Hey there. I am so excited. So, ReShonda Tate is going to be with us here, and she is actually in the studio, and we're going to be talking about her new book. And she's gotten a lot of books. She's an NAACP. Well, I'll give you the full intro right after this. Okay. All right.
Hey yo, kick back, relax, let's dive in the page. Pam Berry picks got the books for your brain. From fiction to nonfiction, all genres insane. We coming through showing love to the lit game. Greatest stories ever told, gotta find your pick. Imagination running wild, ain't nothing slick. Get lost in the pages, let your mind drift. Pam Berry picks got your brain in the bookshelf vibe. Turning the pages with pride. Pam Berry picks got the words by your side. Bookshelf vibe, turning pages with pride. Pam Berry picks got the words by your side. From the classics to new, we got the books for you. Get your mind right, let the knowledge accrue. Bookshelf vibe, expand your horizons wide. Pam Berry kicks, keeping readers satisfied. Books up high, knowledge we can't deny. Get your reading on, from book one fly. Click cover image.
Okay. So I'm gonna bring up Miss ReShonda, but let me just tell you a little bit about ReShonda. She's got a bunch of books. She's a writer for real. She came out the womb writing. That's what I'd say. So she's a nationally best-selling author and award-winning journalist, has the credentials and passion to bring stories to life. A highly sought after motivational speaker, I've heard her speak, she's good, and poet, ReShonda is a 3-time nominee and previous winner of the NAACP Image Award for Outstanding Literary Work Fiction. She has received a plethora of distinguished awards and honors for her journalism, fiction, poetry, writing skills, including an induction in the Texas Literary Hall of Fame and the Arkansas Black Hall of Fame. So with that, I'm going to bring up ReShonda. There you go. How are you, lady?
Hello. Thank you so much for having me. And man, can I talk about your theme song? I don't think I've ever been on a show that had a theme song. I love it.
Oh, and listen, I was like, I got to put all the books in there that I love. So if your book isn't in there, that's because I was like, okay, let me just grab these right here.
It.
But Jamel Hill is from Detroit, so I had to put Jamel Hill in. Okay. All right. Yeah, thank you. That was actually done by Bobby Ivory. Bobby Ivory did that. He is so creative. He's a songwriter. He just does all the things. But let me tell you, I'm so excited because the first time I actually saw you in person was at the National Black Book Festival. Obviously, that's in Houston, and you and Victoria Christopher Murray, your buddy, were doing a panel, holding it down, and people were like on the edge of every word that you were saying. And then we want to say a shout out real quick to your other best writing buddy, Renee Daniel Flagler as well. Well, because it's like this little pack that you all have about how many books have you written to date?
So this is my 54th book that just came out.
Oh my God. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Like I said, you've been writing since you came out the womb. Like really, what is going on? What is going on?
I also wrote for teens. So I have a line of books for teenagers. So that includes all of those.
Right. But you have written 54 books. Okay, that's because of your life. Okay. And not just writing and nobody's reading them. Like writing them, winning awards and best-selling, and USA Today best-selling author. So I want to say that as well. That's congratulations. Is that is good. So give me a little bit before we get into the book. Harlem.
With Love from Harlem.
With Love from Harlem. Okay. Really quick. Do you know a Bridget Davis? She's an author that's wrote a book called Rita. With love from Rita, I believe it is. She's from Detroit. Detroit. She's actually it's a nonfiction book. So you probably, but it's about her family in the numbers business in Detroit.
Oh, okay.
So that's also, I've got to introduce you guys. You would actually love her. She lives in New York, but I got to introduce you. So 54 books with Love from Harlem. Now, this one was the last one that I saw. You were at the Detroit Public Library, and it was The Queen of Sugar Hill, a novel of Hattie McDaniel. And so you have these inspirations of different books. And I think I interviewed you for the other book, not this one, but it was the one about the woman who was going through the divorce.
More than life.
Yes. More to Life. I love that book as well. So that one you said was kind of like a quasi
Yeah.
novel, but taking so so all of your books live in your mind first. So
Mhm.
where did this one with Love from Harlem? Where did that inspiration come from?
Yeah, so while I was researching The Queen of Sugar Hill with Hattie McDaniel, I came across Hazel Scott. Now, I had heard of her briefly, but only through Alicia Keys. Alicia Keys said that Hazel was her inspiration. So I love that Hazel was trying to change the world through defiance, which was totally opposite of what Hattie was doing and trying to change the world through endurance. And so I was attracted to both women in terms of how they chose to change the world. And so once I started digging on Hazel, I was like, oh my goodness, the world should know this woman. She should be a household name. And the fact that she wasn't tells you everything about how history treats Black women.
Yeah. So ReShonda, give them a little bit of background on your writing. So you're a journalist
Yes.
and you were television, print, the whole journalism genre.
Right.
But writing fiction and writing poetry is all different. Poetry
Right.
obviously is more like the sounding of how words sound. And then novels is a whole nother thing. You got to live with these characters in your brain and you're talking to them all the time and kind of probably feel like you're a little schizophrenic sometimes. And then journalism is basically the facts, right? It's just like
Right.
you be creative, maybe creative in the headlines, but not too much. I mean, you can't really, so tell me where the love of words really came from, and then the idea to kind of like leave journalism because you were still doing the broadcasting thing and all that kind of stuff to write your own novels.
Yeah, I've always loved making up stories. But my mother was old school and she felt like, you need to go get a real job. And so I went to school for journalism and I loved making up the stories. So by day, I would stick to the facts with journalism. And by night, I would lose myself in the world of fiction. And what ended up happening was I was able to manage the best of both worlds until I discovered historical fiction, which allowed me to blend the best of both worlds. So historical fiction allows me to lay the facts down in the story, and then the creativity comes in, the fiction comes in filling in the blanks. And so I absolutely love historical fiction because of that.
So Beverly Jenkins,
Yes.
she's in Detroit. So one of the from Detroit. So I kind of know our little Detroit writers and things. She does historical fiction.
Yes. She's a
And
master class in historical fiction.
yes. And so that's when I really had a whole new respect for people who write historical fiction, because it's not like you can write it and you're making it up. Those facts are researched and you are living it, and it's a lot of work. But
And that's why I thought I wouldn't like it, because it felt like too much like my day job. But I loved it. I got lost. I spent 3.5 years researching with Love from Harlem, and I would get lost going down these rabbit holes. I went through the Library of Congress, and I went through over 4,000 items, including Hazel Scott's diaries, letters, her unpublished autobiography. To me, that was the closest thing to sitting across the table from her. When you read someone's private thoughts, you stop seeing them as a historical figure and start seeing them as a living woman.
Right. Oh my God. Okay. So out of all the 54 books that you've written, what book, when it took after you finished and you said, okay, publisher, here's my book. The books, especially novels, are ones that people pick up for movies and that sort of thing. So what out of all the books, what surprised you the most, maybe from a book that left you and then it just took off and had a life of its own and then became like TV treatments or movie treatments, or ones that you thought should have been and it wasn't, or you're still waiting on it and they still fighting about it? So give us that background.
Well, Let the Church Say Amen is kind of the book that put me on the map. And that's the one that I was shocked at how it took off. And it was made into a movie. Regina King directed it. Queen Latifah produced it. So it was wonderful to see my words come alive.
Names drop all these things right here. Like we gotta just give some applause here, because that's a big deal. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
So I was blessed for that. And then, I just write these stories.
Were
Huh?
you in that? Were you
I
in that?
did. I was. I started. Okay. Maybe I didn't star. Maybe I only had 6 lines and 4 of them got cut, but I was in it.
Yes, yes.
But it was just these to have these actors come up to you and say, "Am I doing your character justice?" Was an
Mm.
amazing feeling. I also had The Secret She Kept made into a movie. Miss Pearlie's Girls is currently. We just finished the script for that. Yes,
Yes,
I'm
yes.
excited about that. And The Queen of Sugar Hill is being made into a movie. The producer of Rustin and Precious is making that into a movie as well.
Oh my God. Are you that's what this is. That's when the big bucks come in. Okay.
I'm excited about that. So this one with Love from Harlem has only been out a month.
Mhm.
Yeah, I am super excited because I do think this will be a movie. I would love for Alicia Keys to star in it, but somebody else mentioned her, the singer Her.
Yeah, her. I love her.
Pretty good
Hmm.
as well, but we'll see how it all unfolds.
Man. So the thing of with Love from Harlem and doing all the research and all that kind of thing, and you're going around, you're finishing your tour, you have a like one stop again this weekend at the Barbara Bush Library in Houston, but then
Yeah.
you're doing some more the rest of the year. You're doing Atlanta next month as well. So I want people to make sure that they go to your website to keep up with ReShonda. Okay.
Yes.
We need to keep up with ReShonda because she is out here in all the different cities. Like I said, I saw her at Detroit Public Library. I think that was early fall. She wasn't here in the wintertime
Yeah.
at the Detroit Public Library, but she's going to be this weekend at the Barbara Bush. So when you go to your readings, because I went to them and people, I mean, they are like they know your books. They know your books better than you seem like. They were asking you all these different questions. So when you go around to your book talks and things like that, what are some of the things that surprise you that people are asking about? Or it's
Yeah.
two things. So there are writers that I saw you at the writers conference. They're always asking you about that process, but then also to your readers, those that are like your fans, your super fans. What are they asking you about?
One of the things that really excites me about With Love from Harlem is the number of people that did not know who Hazel Scott was. They'd never heard of Hazel Scott. They'd never heard of Adam Clayton Powell Jr., her husband. And so now they want to know more. And there people are coming up to me telling me I went down a rabbit hole on Google and I just want to learn more. And so for me, that tells me my work is done because I am not only entertaining folks, but I'm educating people as to our history. And for me, that is profound.
Yeah, that is thing. So Adam Clayton Powell, that is that name I know. I didn't know her.
Yes. So Adam Clayton Powell Jr. was her husband. And together they were a powerhouse couple. They were actually the Black Camelot before, we even knew what that was. They were considered the king and queen of Harlem.
Okay.
Um, and so they came together. And what happens though, when two stars align, one of their lights is bound to dim. And
Mm.
Hazel, who was actually a bigger star than Adam Clayton Powell Jr., who was the second Black congressman in history, she dimmed her light so that her husband could shine brighter. And this story is really about a clash of ego and ambition. And it's not just a Harlem love story; it's a behind-the-scenes look at glamour, activism, and the personal price of being extraordinary.
Wow, that is good. I could see why you were drawn to that. Yeah. And it was about the timing too. I mean, women at that time weren't to be that out front, definitely not to outshine their husband, that
Right.
sort of thing. So that was part of it. Of her not wanting to outshine him and that sort of thing. So the two books of Miss Pearlie's Girls, The Queen of Sugar Hill, that's going to be optioned into uh, movies,
Yeah.
television, Netflix, whatever. It doesn't matter. We're gonna watch it. That's the thing. So uh, the With Love from Harlem. Have you gone to Harlem to actually do a signing?
Oh yeah. Oh,
Okay,
I launched in Harlem at Abyssinian Baptist Church, where
Mhm.
Hazel was first lady and Adam Clayton Powell Jr. was the pastor. So that's
Yeah.
where my book launch happened. With research, I spent weeks in Harlem researching, not only going to the Library of the Schomburg and getting information, but I wanted to feel the areas. So of course they've changed, but I wanted to go where Minton's old playhouse was. Billie Holiday is a big part of this story, so I wanted to walk the walk that she and Hazel walked, because she was like a big sister to Hazel. And Simeon is still there, but I've spent time in Harlem just to get a feel of the story, and that is one of the things the readers say they feel like I've transported them to Harlem in the book.
That is so good. That is, and being from a Texas girl, right? So you're like, okay, so I got all the things that the Harlem people can be kind of tough. Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
And people ask me, am I from Harlem? Because they're like, you captured it so great. But for me, this book is like a love letter to Harlem, but not in the romanticized way people sometimes expect. It's a love letter to the Harlem that built genius under pressure. They gave us artists, activists, intellectuals, and dreamers. And it's a love letter to the cost of that brilliance. So it started in Harlem, but it spread out across the country. And that's what I wanted to show, that the love for not just Harlem, but for ourselves. It's a reckoning and celebrating who we are, who we forget, and how love, whether for a person or a place, can elevate and test us.
I love that. So, when I first met you, this was many years ago, and you were with another publisher at the time that was really doing an imprint of Christian fiction. And you and Victoria Christopher Murray, your friend, really don't consider yourself Christian fiction writers, authors, but a lot of people look to you because you did put faith in a lot of your books. And so they would say, oh, that's Christian fiction. And people weren't really writing Christian fiction. They were like, I don't know what that is. Yeah. And they would look to you and Victoria as like the beacon of like, okay, well, guide us. So kind of tell us a little bit about some of the books of why you do infuse the faith in your book.
Yeah, I'm a Christian who writes fiction. And so because some of my titles had churchy titles, people would automatically categorize me in the Christian fiction category. Right. I didn't want to be over there because I write reality. And in the real world, the crackheads I know don't say, pass the pipe, gosh darn it. So you're going to have a couple of curse words. You're going to have, some things that people feel like shouldn't be in Christian fiction. And so I was catching it. I would get this hate mail for what I call the holy rollers. And I just finally had to say, I'm reaching more people because I know more people that go to the club Saturday night than church Sunday morning. And so those are the people that I'm reaching, that I can relate to. It took me a minute to get comfortable with that. I just wanted to tell good stories. The bookstores categorized me as a Christian fiction writer.
Yeah, they do. They would have like a whole little section of that and that sort of thing, but that's not really what you're trying to do. So when people are looking at you and see your success, 54 books, NAACP Image Award winner, books turned into movies, they think that, okay, ReShonda, give me the secret sauce. How did you do it? How do I get an agent? What do I have to do? Who does your publicity? I mean, all the things that look glamorous, I guess, to people, but they don't know how long you've been really working at this.
Right.
It's a labor of love, literally, because I know that you work really hard. But give people the overall arc of some of the sacrifices, I guess you would say, that you made. And most people, if you were to tell them some of the sacrifices they have to make, they'd be like, you know what, that's okay. I'm not going. Yeah, I don't want it that bad.
I'm an overnight success that took 26 years.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's 26. It has been 26 years.
26 years. And one of the things that I would do, people see where I am and they think I'm with a big publisher and they're doing all of this. Well, the industry is ever shifting. When I was with Simon & Schuster, I started out, well, first of all, I couldn't get a book deal. So I self-published, and then I got picked up by Simon & Schuster. But I am a hustler. I keep a mentality that I've got to go out there and make stuff happen. And so when I first got with Simon & Schuster, they didn't do anything for me but print my book. And then they looked up and they were like, who is this little Black girl that's forever darting across the country, pushing her book, working her butt off? Let's get behind her. And so that's how they got, they got on board my train, because my train didn't stop. Mm-hmm. And so now I've switched over to historical fiction, and I'm really kind of starting over. And I'm with a publisher that's kind of doing the same thing.
Mhm.
They just printed the book. I have a great team, but they don't send me out on tour. So people look now and they see me out in 20 cities. I did that. I sent myself on 20 cities because they don't really believe in me right now because I'm in this new category. So I got to
Mhm.
show you. And
Yeah.
I think writers that have the best success take that mentality.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't see it, but I'll show you.
Yeah. I know that you did the work. You did the work, and you're not expecting anyone else to just wave what I call a magic wand. It's like, oh,
Yeah,
she's written a book. Okay, go.
right.
You're gonna be a USA Today bestseller. It's like, no, you did that. And part of it is because you really take your craft so serious, but you also have a relationships too. I remember meeting Victoria Christopher Murray at a Delta convention,
Mhm.
and she was there, and all of them supported her for her book. And the same thing with you,
Yeah.
Alpha Kappa Alpha. You have that. Those were the people that undergird you at the very beginning. They were the ones. Do you go to a lot of their chapters, or do you go to a lot of their conferences and conventions still?
Yeah, I do. I'm still out there. I am my sorority is a big supporter of mine, but the Deltas also support me. In Queen of Sugar Hill, Hattie McDaniel is a member of Sigma Gamma Rho sorority, and they come out and support me.
Yeah.
And I get book clubs, and so I go to all of them. I there's no one that I feel like, okay, I can't do them. I don't. That's not me. If you
No.
want me there, I'm there, and we're gonna talk about these books. Yeah.
That is. And you will even go to book clubs and churches as
Yes.
well.
Yes.
That's part of it as well. You go to book clubs and churches and book clubs within the library and those kind of things. So that's one of the things I know about you, ReShonda. It's like
Yeah.
it's very it's about the book, it's about the love of the words, it is the poetry. So let's talk a little bit about the poetry. So
Mhm.
okay, so the things about novels is like the big thing about novels is that we would love to see people see them on the screen. With
Right.
poetry, one of the things with poetry that people would love to see is maybe having Alicia Keys sing your songs, or that sort of thing. So is songwriting something that you gonna expand into eventually one day, or something that, because they say the songwriters make the most money out of
That's
them.
what I heard, and I've never thought about it. But someone actually mentioned it to me before because I am a poet. It probably is something I need to look into because I enjoy poetry.
That's what
In
I mean.
fact, I'm a 5-time winner of the NABJ, National Association of Black Journalists Spirit in the Words competition, and in fact, they ended up canceling the competition because I kept winning every year. Uh, but I especially love spoken word, and
Mhm.
so you will catch me all the time doing that. So I might have to look into some
Yes,
songwriting.
that is one of the things too. I mean, Barry Gordy did not sing, but he wrote a lot of songs. He made a
Yeah.
lot of money just doing the words. Okay, so that's the part that I'm saying right there. Well, I am so glad that you are just continuing on this journey and inspiring other people, young people as well, to write books, read books. Now
Yeah.
the book is actually out. It's on Amazon. It's paperback. It's hardcover. It's audio. Now, did you do the audio?
I didn't do it. We got a professional actor who did the audio. She's phenomenal.
Okay, all right. And then obviously we have it on Kindle as well. So
Yeah.
it's in all the places. Now the audio book now, just talking about AI and all that kind of stuff now, people can actually have someone read the book using AI. Like you could train your voice
Yeah.
and punch it in, and then however they do it, punch it in, and then it's would you
I
entertain that one day?
I would not because to me an AI, I'm not one of those people that hate AI. But to me, AI has yet to get to the point where it has the soul that
Yeah.
draws you in. Like Lynette is the narrator here. She
Mhm.
becomes Hazel.
Okay.
I don't know that AI is there yet.
Not yet.
Give
No.
it some time,
No.
but I think it'll get there.
I've had a couple of samples, and people have for my authors, and they send it back, and I was like, that doesn't even sound like him.
Yeah.
It's just it'll get better. I mean, who knows? Maybe 10 years from now, it'll pick up all the nuances, but right now it's just kind of like,
Yeah.
that. Well, I just want people to go to ReShondaTate.com, but also go to the Amazon links and punch in all the books that are below the bottom here. She's got 54 of them, so you can start catching up and really getting them. I want to say too that buy the book and keep the book, because I always tell people, I said a lot of our authors, especially our African American authors, could be best-selling authors if people would buy the book themselves instead of buying them and letting
Right.
and let other people read them. Okay, so it's like it's the best-selling author, not like the best read. It's the best-selling, so you got to buy your own book. Okay, don't like and I'm the person that's like, you know what, this is my book, get your own. So
Pass the word, not the book.
yes, exactly, not the book, because that does not help the author become a best-selling. So goal-wise, what's next for you in the future? You know, you're writing more books, more historical fiction. What is the big thing? Are you and your daughters going to write any books together? And is that in the future?
No. My daughters, yeah, I'd like to keep our relationship intact. So no. Okay. But I'm working on my next historical fiction, and I'm a screenwriter as well. So I'm working with a producer on developing some movies as well.
Okay. So yeah, so all the things with the words, that is good. Yeah. That is really, really good. So thank you so much for joining us today. I really, really enjoy all of your work. Love when you come to Detroit. Please, when you come to Detroit this summer, okay, when you come to the Detroit Public Library, our main library, it wasn't huge, humongous.
Yeah.
Really nice. So I want you to come there, and then we'll see you there. Okay.
All right. Sounds great.
All righty. God bless you. Talk to you later.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, bye-bye. That is ReShonda. Yay! Instagram.